So I'm so happy to be here with Asli Solmaz-Kaiser, the founder and CEO of iComplai from Germany. Asli is also a speaker at the AI and Food Tech Summit in September, and I'm thrilled to have you here to see what you're going to talk about, what you're going to share, but most importantly, I think to look back where we're coming from and where actually, maybe the next level of innovation or implementation of AI in your field of expertise, food safety, is going to be. So, Asli, could you maybe, explain me what your company is all about, what you're doing, with whom you're working, for how many years, and what the impact has been. If you are able to mention some names of organizations you've worked with, uh, please do so.
Okay, thanks a lot for the question, Gerard. So maybe to talk about some of the companies that we are cooperating with, among them are Mars from US, as well as Innocent from UK, the Smoothies, Ritter Sport from Germany, the confectionery. So these are just a few that we can mention. And what our platform doing is showing our customers the raw material risks. So for all the risks that they're basically the ingredients they are sourcing, they can see the risks of their platform. In our platform, we currently have over 1 million suppliers, over 400,000 notifications, risks worldwide, over 300 million test results from 225 countries worldwide, the raw material sourcing. And yes, and different. I think on the news side, we have meanwhile over 600,000 news where you can see the raw material risks from different perspectives, like food safety, food fraud, but also child labor, climate change, no, yeah, all types of risks that you may see on the products, on the raw materials.
I think it's massive. It's massive. It's very impressive because you also explained that you started in 2020, right? So in such a short period of time, if you have been able to build a platform like that, that must be very attractive for most companies to work with. So you started in 2020, right?
That's true. That's correct. Yes, I started
Yeah.
in 2020.
Yeah. So where are we coming from if you look back a few more years to where we are now with AI? What has made the change in your view?
Yeah, I mean, I think the how should I say, when at it became much more concrete. I think we all got better educated about what AI is and what AI can do, and more interested in how it can actually be integrated into our processes. So it's less of this, big thing on the cloud. So it's more coming, I think, more and more to the ground, and the acceptance of AI and the applications of AI are increasing. I can say people feel more confident or more comfortable using the AI applications because they simply feel overall more familiar with it.
So the awareness has increased, you say?
Yes, yes, I think so. The awareness, but also the overall knowledge, I think, has increased.
Yeah, because you need to apply it to data, and specific situations, of course, as well in the business.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So where do you see then, from your specific expertise, maybe in the risk management related to food service, where are the big opportunities for further implementation of AI?
Yeah, from a risk management perspective, for sure, it remains in the predictions. So right now, in many cases, you can see the predictions based on trends, based on what has happened before. But what is also very critical is to be able to see the unknown unknowns, which is partly what iComply is doing. But we have also not completed the whole scene. So I think emerging risks and understanding where the risks may emerge based on millions of data points being updated every day. I think this is going to be more and more dominant, and will be part of our daily work, basically, moving forwards in the next, I would even say, 2 to 3 years.
Can you give an example of predicting the unknown from your business perspective?
Yeah, predicting the unknown, for instance, is when you, if there is a certain pesticide that has not been identified before, at least not according to the publicly available information on a certain raw material, and people are therefore never testing it. This is for me the unknown, because there are really thousands of pesticides, and not all of them can be basically tested for every raw material, for every product. And so what we are can be doing in the future is to be able to see really what has come up so far, and what is the or what we are doing right now is what is the next pesticide that's going to come up on this raw material, so that you can already do your preventive measures and take the tests also for the specific pesticide for a given raw material, so that you are not caught unattended.
And is this then, there may be two sides to it. One is the ingredient or the product that a food manufacturer is buying. And on the other hand, there's the bigger world where loads of pesticides are being used. So when you are going to predict that, where are you getting your data from? From the outside the company, or mainly from inside?
We actually have the data, the main data outside of the company, and in addition to that, of course, the data that our customers provide us with.
So then public data from large agricultural organizations, or what kind of data are you
Well, the
thinking of?
public data, it's can be organizations, it can be also authorities. Actually, they're mostly authorities, government organizations that provide actually such data
Hmm.
for different,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
also open for commercial use.
Hmm. And when you are talking about, yeah, the implementation of AI, some other speakers have also mentioned that sometimes there's a barrier inside a company to really get it to be adopted, or to be tested, or maybe applied or implemented. What is your take on this when you have worked with so many different companies? What is the characteristics of the companies that are successful in working with you, and your tools? And how are they sometimes different from other companies that are maybe not that far? What have been the success factors?
I think it's about being open for changes, being open for innovation. At the end, I think it's not kind of dangerous or hard to adapt if you know what you're doing. You need to understand how the AI is functioning and how reliable it is. No? And
Hmm.
if you know that it is 60% reliable, you have to treat it this way. And if you know that it's 99% reliable, you have to treat it in another way. But in
Hmm.
both cases, it can be meaningful. Can be helpful in your decision making. But the most important is that first of all you're open for innovation, and secondly that you know what you are dealing with, and the advantages and disadvantages this system is bringing, and you're aware of how it's impacting your decisions, basically.
And is there also a situation where, yeah, you come in at a certain moment when there is a risk situation, or they recently have had a risk situation, a hazard, and that they think, we should do this differently, huh?
Yeah,
Because this is
definitely,
the so many
definitely.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. I mean, there are, big large food companies, better than me. They're using thousands of raw materials. This is not
Hmm.
uncommon. Even thousands of suppliers is not uncommon. So it's simply impossible for a single person to follow up with the risks of all suppliers, all weather risks, all raw materials are facing with, all the contamination risks. This is simply impossible. And you definitely, if you want to do a more wholesome approach and not sporadic checks without really knowing where there is more risk, where there is less risk, but go more focused and more effective, you have to use AI and data and AI basically to help you navigate through the system to understand where is the
Hmm.
highest risk, where should I spend my time. I have, I don't know, let's say 10 hours a day of work and 3 hours
Hmm.
of it is spent on risk management. What is the best where is the best place to spend my 3 hours so I can have the maximum risk reduction basically.
Hmm. And when you're talking about the organizations you have worked with, and you look at who took the decision to work with you, is this AI and risk management, has it been a decision in the end, of course, by the risk officer or the food safety officer, but was it firstly adopted at, yeah, C level, and then they said, okay, we're going to do it at R&D, processing, including food safety, or was it the bottom up approach of somebody being open in the space you're working in and said, well, let's give it a try and see what it brings?
Yeah, I think, this is a nice question, and it brings back to the other question you mentioned. What makes a company open for AI and what makes it not? I think it's more really the company culture. And if you have the right culture, then both the people in a department who will actually use the system, as well as the higher management who will maybe decide on approve the budget whatsoever, they have to be open basically and willing to try this. Um, it is not There are also cases where you have people in the company that are very innovative, want to try new things, but the company culture is actually not allowing them to bring it to the next level. Or you have
Hmm.
other companies who are at the high level, top level, very excited, but as you go down, it's the level of excitement decreases.
Yeah, yeah.
I think at the end, the fastest decisions or the most effective use is if you have a company culture that is open for it, that's open for trying new things, that's open
Hmm.
for decreasing risk in a faster manner than you used to do,
Hmm.
then that's where actually the magic happens and the adoption is much
Hmm.
faster also within that company.
And you have many years of experience in the business, in your area of expertise. Do you see a change of company cultures towards being more open over a period of 15 years? Or are the companies that weren't open 15 years ago, they're still not open? Do you see a change there?
I think there is a change. The question is, what is the speed of change?
Hmm.
So there are companies where the speed of change is lower. There are companies where the speed of change is basically higher. And I don't even want to say one is good better than the other,
Hmm.
at least not in the short term, because if you do the change, maybe the change doesn't work, and then you have to roll it
Hmm.
backwards.
Hmm.
And maybe the ones who did not do the change are even better off. So I think it's very
Yeah.
important that you understand what you're doing, and then you utilize the technology at a time when it's going to be most useful for you. For some of the companies, like the high tech companies, it's most useful if it's at the newest, when it's just come up. Maybe in some more conservative industries, like in the product safety industry, maybe it makes sense to use it a little bit later because
Hmm.
you don't want it to make mistakes, or you need to be more aware of what
Hmm.
it is doing. So I think again, it's the company culture that impacts the speed of this change. I think at the end, everybody is becoming more open. Some
Of
are
course.
becoming more open than the yeah faster open to new ideas than some others.
Yeah, okay. So this brings me to maybe the last question or the last topic. Is that could you, yeah, maybe highlight one, two, or three, use cases, where you could say, well, this was the customer, that was the situation, this was actually the basic question, and we've been able to mitigate the risk or to show benefits. Could you give some examples here?
Yes, so actually, we have a data platform with predictions, and there are different ways to use this data platform. For one, you can I think it's the most straightforward way. You can go in and let's say you're sourcing a new raw material. Let's say you start to buy, I don't know, black pepper. Start to put black pepper, or black pepper is maybe not a good example. Let's say avocados. You start to use avocados,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to understand what are the risks associated with avocados. So you can go into the system, and within a few seconds, you will know immediately what are the risks that associated with
Okay.
avocados, what have been so far, and what
Mm-hmm.
are the upcoming risks. So that is one use case which I know that some of our customers are using it very frequently. And after you onboard this information, you can also see which other what other ways are there to monitor it. So you can see every day the first of all, you saw the predicted risks also in your raw material analysis, and you're seeing every day, is this then coming true? What is the current risks that avocado is actually being confronted with right now? And then you can take it one step higher to compare it, like you're going to source a new raw material. Avocados is, let's say, risky, so should I take apples instead? I don't know. Should I use,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, another raw material instead? And then you can rank the risk of the different raw materials, and also look at the future of raw materials and decide which raw material you're going to be using. And this is very important for your business continuity as well, because basically the raw materials you are basing your product on. You want them to be sustainable at the end. And so that is another way of using the information. Also, we have over 1 million suppliers in our platform. So basically a user can come and see, hey, I want to know a new supplier for sesame seeds, for instance. I want them to be from I don't know, Sudan. And then you can see all of the raw material suppliers from Sudan, and then you say, I want to know which ones are not likely to have a problem in the
Mm-hmm.
next years, and you can also even sort according to that. Would be a different use case.
Yeah. So that's the data platform that you've built, huh?
Yes, exactly.
And how do you then couple the data platform with a company that has all those different thousand maybe ingredients that they're buying? Do you make a bridge between the two?
Yes, so there are actually two ways to do that. One of them is we either customize the complete data in our platform according to what they're using. The second way is we couple it with their system. So basically, it will automatically update based on the raw materials that they are using. The two systems have a connection point, they talk to each other, and our system will be, or their system will be constantly updated with the data that is relevant for them.
Yeah. So the core is your data platform, and for that you customize, or you make it localize it maybe for the customer's environment.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. I mean, something that we have is our very differentiating point is our granular data structure, which makes it very easy to transfer the data and to customize the data at different points as the customer needs it.
So that's a point of difference, right? You're
Yes.
mentioning. And why do you do that, or why can you do that, and why others don't do that? What was your thought behind doing this?
Yeah, when we started it at the end, I think actually it's not that nobody cannot do it. It's just that from the beginning we have started our complete data structure at a very granular level, because it's very important when you want to use machine learning algorithms. It's also very important if you want to look for very targeted information. You cannot do this if you do not have a granular data structure, basically. And from the beginning, that's how we started, and we are actually now collecting the fruits of it. That it makes it possible for us to go into many different applications utilizing this structure.
So if I would be a food company, I would come to you, and you would explain the opportunities. And I think you spoke a lot about the risk management, the risk mitigation, and with that, of course, there's cost involved. If you don't do that in a proper way, you will feel it later on. Is there something that you would explain me as well as a kind of euro benefit when you start working? When I would start working with you, is it the time of the management, or is it maybe managing problems and less money involved later on when you need to solve it?
I mean, of course, it's at the end, if you have any recalls or if you have any risks, nobody wants to be in this situation. Yeah, you have all the attention of the company, and that is the type of attention maybe you do not really need when something goes wrong. And in addition to that, of course, according to Allianz, a significant product recall in the food industry is close to $10 million, and that is in direct costs only. So, cost of reputation, etc., is not even included.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to be the person who gets your company in such a trouble. So
Mm-hmm.
um, having some money spent, which is much less than $10 million, for avoiding this risk,
Yeah.
is actually when well invested money. And besides, I think if you are a risk manager, if you are quality assurance, it is your responsibility to show the ways to the company how you can
Mm-hmm.
actually reduce the risk. And this includes also AI powered applications, and using the technology to reduce the risk. I think this is the added value that a person brings to the company, by showing this openness for technology, for innovation, and also preparing the team for its usage.
Yeah. So, and if we would have the conversation and would say, okay, let's start. What is typically an implementation period for you to get either the external linked to the internal side of making it internal? What type of lead times are you talking about?
Well, we actually depends on what the customer wants to see, but we are talking about something between 1 day to 1 week,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not very long.
No, if no customization needed, it will take 1 hour. So it's pretty fast. It's a SaaS platform, so
Uh-huh.
as it is, you
Yeah.
can take it right away. And if you want to do some customization, as I said, to put it
Hmm.
together, it will take maybe 1 week.
Customization is more at the customer side, to get the data in the right format to link it to your
Yes, it can be
platform. Huh?
also in our platform. It can be also on their side, depending
Okay.
on how they're going to consume the data. Of course,
Hmm.
if you are customizing a data transfer, that would take longer, let's say 2-3 weeks. If you are looking at a customization to consume the data from our platform, maybe 1 week.
Yeah. Well, then it's very limited, let's say, risk in terms of time that you would lose
Yeah,
when you start taking the risk to work with you.
yeah.
So yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, well, I think what I'd like to do is to wrap up the podcast in this case, and to thank you very much for giving your view on AI in the future, and particularly related to risk management. And I would invite everybody to come and also to meet you in person in September in Amsterdam, where you will be doing a presentation and hopefully increase, discussions also about, right, how we can all get this to fly, because there's so many benefits for it, not only in your area but also in the areas of product development or discovery or processing, right? And increasing the awareness, I think, is a very important thing. So by giving your ideas, it's been very valuable for me also today to learn from you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerard, for the invitation. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to meeting you in September.
Okay, thank you.